A good mood is not normally such a key to success, and as James Harden quickly pointed out, the Rockets have been pretty upbeat all season. But the Rockets were celebrating Chris Paul's return nearly from the moment he completed his elaborate pregame handshakes and took the floor. It helped that from the start, he looked like Chris Paul rather than the limping version from the season opener. The Rockets followed that lead in their way, scoring with non-stop ease until they took a few more places in the franchise and NBA record books. The tests will become tougher quickly. The Grizzlies and Suns defend as if playing different sports. But the Rockets' offensive role not only continued, it hit another level with the return of a 9-time All-Star point guard. 1. The Rockets could tell right away that Chris Paul was back on the floor and back to the form that made him one of the league's best ever playmakers and faces of the league. He had no difficulty taking a place in the Rockets' offense without slowing James Harden's role or changing his role. He found, and sometimes created passes that few others would see, from cross-court bullets to a give-and-go with Clint Capela in tight quarters that delivered a layup. Paul moved easily on both ends of the floor, with the only sign of the layoff coming at the end of his 5-minute stints when he found himself out of breath. The Rockets kept either Paul or Harden on the floor at all times, which seemed unfair to have Paul going against a second unit, but even more so when Harden returned to the floor with a 22-point lead early in the second quarter. Paul finished with 11 points and 10 assists in his 21 minutes, but the way he did it seemed to indicate he can bring much more. 2. When James Harden returned to the court 3 minutes into the second quarter, he had taken 3 shots and did not seem interested in taking more. He called for the ball to go elsewhere on a series of possessions, sending passes to the other side of the floor for a dribble handoff from Clint Capela to Eric Gordon, having Trevor Ariza curl around a pin-down screen. For a series of trips down the floor, Harden got rid of the ball nearly as soon as he had it, as if scoring was just too easy. That did not last. Scoring remained easy, but his determination not to end it. Harden continued his torrid shooting from the three-point line, making it impossible to stop him off the dribble. He made 6 of 11 threes and has made nearly 40% of his three-pointers this season, with 16 more threes than the next most in the league. He has made 42 consecutive free throws, going an NBA record 37 of 37 in his past 2 games. Harden has taken the NBA lead in scoring and assists, a double no one has accomplished since Nate Archibald in the 1972-73 season. Though that might not last with Chris Paul back to take on some of the load, Harden's run of sharp shooting should make it much easier to mesh with an elite points guard. In the first 8 games of the season, he averaged 26.1 points. In the past 8, he has averaged 37.6 on 47.5% shooting and 43.9% three-point shooting. When Paul kidded him in the TNT interview that Harden was too close to 50 not to get it, Harden pointed out that the Rockets had won, which has been the most reliable part of the past 8 games. With Harden unstoppable, the Rockets have gone 7-1. Rarely has it looked as easy as it did on Thursday.